anything can come from anywhere.
Oh my goodness!
I'm
Stop
just
it.
saying.
Stop
I'm
it.
just saying.
No.
I think someone's a hypocrite. I think someone's a hypocrite.
It's not even the same thing.
Welcome, foolish mortals, to the Grim Grinning Dads, the show where three Disney-loving dads share travel tips, hot takes, and a whole lot more. I'm Tyler, and I'm joined as always by Caleb and Charlie. We've got a few awesome things for you today. We're going to head into some news items of the week and maybe some speculation around one of our favorite Imagineers. And we are going to get into our top 5 Pixar movies, which I'm sure will not bring back any hot takes from anyone at all that they won't respond to when we criticize them. But that's okay.
Correct. Yeah.
As always, I just want to remind everybody that we are part of a team of travel advisors. So if you'd like any of us to help with your next vacation, Disney or otherwise, please reach out through any of our socials. Find us on TikTok, Instagram, and all the places where podcasts live. And also, we are just sharing our own opinions. We do not represent the Walt Disney Company in any way. So we are just here to share our thoughts and get into some speculation. We're going to have some fun today, starting with some news items. So, Charlie, kick us off.
All right. So the Interactive Animation Academy experience is coming. It's called Olaf Draws, and it's coming to Hollywood Studios. It's going to feature an advanced audio animatronic Olaf. I saw a video this week of Josh Gad actually recording the voiceover for Olaf, and it looks spectacular. So it looks like he did make it out of the alternate universe that he got sucked into in the show Wonder Man, which is good because I was a little worried there because he just disappeared and never came back.
Right.
The experience is located within a reimagined Magic of Disney animation space, featuring sleigh-themed tables for children and professional-style workstations for adults. I'm all in on this. As I just said, Josh Gad has recorded some new dialogue, and while Olaf hosts pre-recorded lessons from legendary Disney animators are going to teach guests how to draw specific characters. I cannot wait to sit down and come out of there with some sort of stick figure, even though I'm trying to follow the instructions of the characters that they're giving me. But the featured characters and their corresponding artists include Dan Abraham, who's Mickey Mouse, Hyun Min Lee, who's Minnie Mouse, Austin Traylor, Donald Duck, Eric Goldberg for Genie, Samantha Vilfort for Moana. I'm butchering all these names too. I'm sure that there's like some sort of accents on these names. Stitch, which is Fawn
Vera Soonthorn.
Yep. Olaf with Trent Corey and Michael Woodside's Ursula, and Byron Howard, who's Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde. Super cool. A couple additional things that they're having added to this, which is awesome. There's a walkthrough gallery where artwork comes to life with new animations, and the Once Upon a Studio Theater, which is going to give a screening of the award-winning short film with added extra magic effects. So the timeline for this experience is scheduled to open in late summer, making a return of the Animation Academy. Yeah, right. Isn't that fast? I mean, they were just recording his stuff. So they I feel like they must have this ready to go. As far as like the animatronic, just being able to, just plop his voice into it and have it just work. I don't know. I'm excited for it though. I probably won't see it till 2027, but I'm excited for it nonetheless. And I'll hopefully hear about it from one of you guys who ends up going later on in the year, probably Caleb, but
why always me?
What? I mean, because you're the one who goes the most often. You live closer to it than Tyler does. Not by a ton of time. But
I was like, I don't know if that's true. I think his flight is shorter than mine.
Yeah,
to Florida?
That's just because you have a stupid airport.
About 4.5.
Okay, I got you on a half. Oh yeah,
you got him
closer.
That's okay.
So you guys excited about this?
I am actually.
I am. I kind of like the idea of that, making it a little bit more interactive and having a character involved. I know some people don't love that because it's more IP in the park, but I think that's a way to get kids into this where they maybe wouldn't be otherwise.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not a big fan. Okay. In Hollywood studios, I'm going to be honest, Frozen is like beat like a dead horse. Like it is everywhere in Hollywood studios, especially like right there on that main drag, right? Like you walk in, you got the Frozen sing along, you got Meet Olaf, you got the no, well, now you're gonna have Olaf doing his animation stuff, and I don't know, like it's everywhere there. So I understand why people would not be happy about it, but at the same time, that's kind of like the whole point of Hollywood studios, is that it was supposed to be a what in the world? It was supposed to be a studio, right?
Yeah.
Where you could watch animators and all that stuff. And my daughter thinks it's great to,
It's fine.
do stuff.
It's fine. And you
But,
guys
yeah.
miss? Do you miss the like the sound stage and like the
I do.
Gilligan's Island and the behind the scenes tour?
Never
Like, do you
was
miss
there.
all that stuff?
I was never
Well,
around for any of that.
Really?
I remember some of it, but it was never real. At least not in the way that like Universal Studios was real when it was built, because MGM was rushed into development
Mhm.
because Eisner knew Universal what they were working on.
Right.
So it was just meant to be a response. So I don't know, that the studio part of it never felt as authentic to me because there weren't really productions that happened there. The backlot tour was all staged for the backlot tour,
Mhm.
which is different than
Right.
like the Universal backlot in both in Florida and in Hollywood. They had real productions going on, so they could at least like they could do the tours. I remember like when I was growing up, the Nickelodeon studio was there,
Yes.
so you could see where they
can't
filmed
do that
like
on television.
Double Dare and stuff like that. Like that's
And-
classic like 90s stuff right there.
And you could be a part of the live studio audience for those shows.
So
Like,
and
I
they would
remember-
always
As a kid, I'd want to be a part of that so
Mhm.
bad.
well, then they would do like a kind of a miniature version of it for the people who were on the tour. So like, you could potentially get slimed on the tour, like while you're there
Which-
that day, which I never got to, which was disappointing.
Would have been glorious.
It would have been
Mhm.
glorious. Yeah.
Mhm.
Would have been great. Awesome. Well, that is exciting. So we look forward to that coming up late summer of this year. And then Caleb, what is your news item of the week?
So something big might be happening or being announced probably Friday. Joe Rohde, one of our favorite and most beloved Imagineers, has been spending some time in Animal Kingdom over the last few days, and he announced on his Instagram that there was an announcement coming. Let me just pull up exactly what he says here. Says, I quote, "Hi, this is a kind of advanced promo for an upcoming announcement. Sorry to be coy, but we must coordinate our efforts. Stay tuned, probably Friday." Like, he spent the last few days in Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom is under some major renovation right now with Dinoland being gone. With the change up that's happened with the CEO, Bob gone, now we got a great big beautiful tomorrow. Who's to say? It's total speculation, totally just looking into it and reading it for what it is. And my heart's desire is that what if he's coming back to help with Tropical Americas in Animal Kingdom? Wouldn't that be neat?
And what a gesture to the fans that really follow this stuff that
Right.
like that Josh can kind of take credit for. It's like, hey, we know what you guys like and we know what made this part great, and this is the man responsible, so let's get him involved. And even if
Yeah.
he's not actually that involved, even if they just say like he's consulting,
Yep.
yeah,
Right.
great move
Yeah, even
if
if-
that's what it is.
Even if it's so much of like, we ran all of our designs by him, and he gave us a thumbs up. Like, even if that's it, I'm in. I'm so in. And like going through his social media here, like he took a video near Expedition Everest. He took a little snapshot in Tiffin's, and they had a map that they had like carved out of wood, and he specifically focuses in on tropical Americas on the camera. So it's super interesting that that even came up, and he was talking about that. Yeah, he's just, if he has anything to do with tropical Americas and Indiana Jones or Encanto.
How do you feel about the boat ride now, Caleb? If Joe Rohde's involved,
it's a boat ride. Okay, it's a boat ride. It's a cop out. I'll write it. Okay, I'll write
well, we're
it.
gonna write it anyway.
I'm gonna have a grin on my face the whole time, but I'm gonna deep down suppressed somewhere inside. I'm gonna be like, it's a boat ride.
Well, here's what I would kind of think. Like, if he is involved, and again, this is all speculation, I don't think he would dive in real heavy on like the IP side of things. I think he would let the teams that are doing that do that. I think what he does really well is like the world building, like the set dressing kind of stuff.
Right.
And like those little details when you're walking through, not that they have to tie to any particular IP, but that feeling of immersion, and that attention to those very, very specific details, like wood carvings or whatever it may be, smells and sounds and that kind of stuff. Like that's his forte. So I think if he is involved, that's kind of what he would focus on, is like the overall like atmosphere of the land, and not into like the nitty gritty for any particular ride. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, and it's cool here too. So in Tiffin's, when he was going in on that wooden map, he wrote here, couldn't help but notice a detail on our carved wooden map, executed by our carving friends in 2015. The map indicates places where imaginary or animal sciences people had traveled on behalf of Disney's Animal Kingdom. Kind of hard to update since it's a piece of carved wood, so you kind of have to bet on some futures. And that's when he's zooming in to the tropical Americas, and I'm like, what a guy.
I mean, come on. Yeah.
Like, trying to tell us something, Joe?
Friday.
It's 2 days from now. We're almost 2 days from now.
Also, and I was just looking at his Instagram, he then traveled from Orlando to LA. So it's like, are you going to the studios or the offices in Burbank to meet with leadership? Like, what's happening here, man?
Right. Yeah, and he took the obligatory airport photo of LAX, like as he's landing. Super funny. And then he gave us the video of his announcement, probably Friday. So I don't know.
We shall see.
Joe Rohde's my man. The last time, and I've talked about this before in previous episodes, the last time, and you brought it up, Tyler, that Disney had innovated an attraction from the ground up, not based on anything, was Expedition Everest, and Joe Rohde had everything to do with that. I love that guy. Great dude. Top three for sure.
Top three for sure.
Top three for sure.
Maybe that's another episode for later on, is our top 5 Imagineers. And all of like 5 people will like that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'll be a fly on the wall now. I'll be like, I know of this guy. I'd have to really dig into the nitty gritty.
We're gonna debate Rolly Crump versus Mark Davis.
Oh my goodness. We're getting into the deep lore of Disney.
Oh yeah. Well, speaking of getting into rankings, let's move on to our main topic for this week, which is our top 5 Pixar movies. I know Caleb's been struggling with this, but we're going to lock it in, at least for right now. We're sitting here as we record this, we're kind of end of February 2026. This episode will go up like first week of March. Of course, this is always subject to change, but this is going to be how we feel as of today. So, Caleb, I'm not going to put you on the spot first. You'll have one
Okay.
more brief second to make your decision. But Charlie, kick us off with your number 5.
Hold on. Are we starting
Oh.
5? We're starting 5?
Yes.
Okay.
And we're going to do, round robin. It's one at a time until we get all the way through.
Okay. Ooh.
So I was between two different movies for number 5, both of which made me cry very hard. The one that I chose made me cry within the first 4 minutes of the movie, and that is Up. It hits so hard. The amount of like happiness and then grief. What just happened?
5?
Yeah, I think he's shocked as 5. Caleb, Up is not in my top 5.
Yeah, Up is a great movie.
It is one that
There's so
if
many.
I had
dude.
an honorable mention, it would be like one of the first couple out. But
Absolutely. There's 25 movies that I could have put on this list, and this is at number 5 right now, and it destroyed me 5 minutes into the movie, and I already understood the main character. I already like loved his experience with his wife, and then was angry about everything that happened and how he couldn't control it. And then they were able to make me laugh afterward. Like after such a crazily emotional moment, they were able to make me laugh a ton of times, and introduce the concept of squirrel, which is a thing that didn't exist before that, and now is referenced all over the place. And you end up with just what you wouldn't have believed 5 minutes in could be a happy ending.
Right.
So powerful. The power of that grief was just crazy. So that's my number 5.
Nice.
Up.
Nice. All right, Caleb, make a call.
My number 5 is a sequel, Toy Story 3. That's where Toy Story should have ended. We didn't need 4, and we definitely don't need 5. But it's such a great button at the end of the Toy Story franchise, and for the rest of my life, I will say Toy Story 3 was the end. 4 and 5 was fan service. That's just what it was. It didn't need to go any further.
What if 5 is good though? What if 5 is just so good?
Doubt it.
I don't see how it can hold the weight.
It can't.
Because it doesn't have the first 2 movies that it's building on.
Right. And Toy Story 3, like it was so beautifully done. Like the entire story, we see everything come together. We have this family of toys and the big bad. It was just a beautiful, beautiful time. And I very much think that after 4 and 5 are just meh.
Remind me, who was the big bad in 3?
In 3?
Yeah, who was the big bad in 3?
That was Lotso, right?
Yeah. Lotso the bear.
Okay.
Yeah, at the daycare. And then 4 was the doll that didn't have her voice box.
Oh,
see
yeah.
How
that was
see how unmemorable that is?
Well, I didn't remember 3.
Oh, but Lotso.
But that's not
Lotso the bear.
That's not a comment on the movie. It's just Charlie has poor memory.
Yeah,
and very poor recall.
Is that this week's name that
Let's
you
hope
don't
so.
remember?
Let's hope so.
The Charlie can't remember stuff episode. That's what it is.
Eventually, we'll make a super cut of that.
Oh God. What was
I
his
can make
name?
that happen.
Harrison
Walt
Ford.
Disney? Harrison Ford?
Harrison
Huh?
Ford. You did that. You did that once.
I did, but it's the problem is that like when I'm actually grasping for the name, I can't remember it. But if it's
Yeah.
like I'm like sitting there watching a movie and I'm like, wait a minute, that face looks familiar. And then I go look it up and I'm like, that's the guy from the other thing. Like all of the all of the different avatars in Avatar 3, I'm like, what? Like I could pick out those faces and I'm like,
Yeah.
I know the actor who played that guy that was on the ship. And then I would go look it up and I'd be like, yeah, it's that guy from the other thing.
So my number 5, and this may be the only place where we agree, Caleb. We'll see. I also have Toy Story 3.
Yep.
And for many of the same reasons, it is the perfect button on that. It is one of the best conclusions to a trilogy ever. Like I would put it up near like Return of the Jedi level for like ways to button up a trilogy.
Mhm.
That's where the story should have ended because that arc, them as Andy's toys, that was it. Fantastic ending, and the incinerator scene is just like seared into my brain. And like I just remember watching that thinking like they're not going to do this, they can't do this, and of course they didn't. But man, they had me going for a minute there. Yeah.
The look
So
of hopelessness on Buzz's face and Woody's face, and then the claw.
Yeah.
It's great.
But what I think is cool about that movie is like that was made for the people who grew up with the first two. So
Correct.
It really just felt like, okay, that story is done, and now we can move on. And so yeah, I do kind of agree that 4 felt like a cash grab, and I have a feeling 5 is going to feel very similar. Now, doesn't mean it won't be good, but it's just not going to hold the weight that any of the first 3 do.
Nope. The first 3, perfect. Leave them as they are.
Yep.
4 and 5. It's kind of the same thing with when it comes to like Pirates of the Caribbean, right? Like 1, 2, and 3, fine, don't touch it. 4 and 5, they just wanted money.
I think they should have stopped after 1. Maybe that's a hot take.
No,
I don't really care for any of them after the first one.
The first one was good. It was by far the best of the 5 that there are. But I appreciated 2 and 3 for what they were. I appreciate
my
them.
whole thing is like once you start bringing people back from the dead, then there aren't stakes anymore.
What was the whole point of Davy Jones?
Well, right, that's the thing.
Point.
It's like once you introduce that as a concept, then it's like I don't fear for any character in this story because they're never like fully gone.
Thanks, Marvel.
Yeah, I had a hard time actually even like relating to those characters. I was entertained by the first one, and I've been entertained by the other ones that I've watched, but I never felt like there was any stakes that I cared about. They weren't going to kill Johnny Depp. Like there was no way. There was no way. Like, you know, like, even if they did kill him, it was going to be like, well, there's obviously a loophole. I mean, no matter what, because he's kind of the face of it.
Pirates did it first. Hot take.
I bet the comics, the Marvel comics did it first.
Yeah, probably.
That's probably where all of it comes from. Or even previous to that.
Okay, fine. But, Charlie number 4.
All right, Charlie number 4. Let's
Charlie
go.
number 4. So my number 4 is an art film. It is a different kind of art, and the character that does this art is considered gross in a lot of different places. My number 4 is Ratatouille. He is an artist. He's a master chef, and it's just a fantastic. It's one of the only movies, like animated movies, that actually made me want to try a dish that I've never eaten before in my life. It makes you want to try when he sits down at the table, and the ratatouille is served to him, and it brings back memories Like I can think of a specific dishes in my life that where that type of memory, like memory blast would happen, because if it hit the right way. Be like
Mhm.
my grandmother's, my grandmother's pasta, or my grandmother's, like she had a recipe that she called Nanny's bread. If I eat that, like I'm transported back to when we were in Florida with them, like eating Nanny's bread and having like freshly squeezed orange juice. Like it's those types of things. And the
Yeah.
movie did that so well, um, and hit so hard with like the different uses of color and music to translate those senses, the sense of taste and smell, into a visual medium. And one of the best quotes: "Not everyone can become a great artist, but a great artist can come from anywhere." Love that movie. Love
Yeah.
So
that
good.
movie. Can't
I
wait to
also
see
love
the
it.
updated. You also love it.
I also love it, and I will hold my thoughts for now.
All right.
All right.
Caleb.
Well, my number
Caleb.
4 is also Ratatouille. So,
Oh
No
my
way,
goodness.
dude.
like, really, just the same thing that you were saying, Charlie. Right? Like, it does such a great job of flipping the script.
Yep.
That's the whole premise of that movie, right? To show that anything can come from anywhere, and it just because something doesn't look one way doesn't mean that it can't be one thing or another.
Wait a second. So you like it here, but you don't like it in The Last Jedi.
What?
Anything can come from anywhere.
Oh
Anything
my
can come
goodness!
from
I'm
Stop
just
anywhere.
it!
saying.
Stop
I'm
it!
just saying.
No,
I think someone's a hypocrite. I think
no.
someone's a hypocrite.
It's not even the same thing.
All right.
And also,
As you were. Did I break him?
You broke him.
I can't even right now. Ratatouille. Okay, like I love it. Especially the way that movie ends. That they just start up another restaurant after Gusteau's like closed, and it's very clearly a rat now, and people just don't care, and it's nice. So I like Ratatouille. It's number 4. This list was hard, guys. It was hard.
Mm-hmm. That's a hard list.
Yeah. All right. So my number 4 is not Ratatouille. It is Coco. I think this is one of the most like visually impressive movies I've ever seen. Like
Yep.
when he first goes into the like land of the dead, and that like massive shot of him like walking in, like it's unbelievable. The music is incredible. It carries such emotional weight. I think Remember Me is I don't know if it's reached this status yet, but I think it's one of the best Disney songs ever. Like it's got to be up there with like Be Our Guest and A Whole New World and a lot of the classics. And I'm sure it'll get there eventually. It's wonderful. Um, and the ending is just like it's super emotional and satisfying.
Oh my
And
God.
I don't love that they're going to do a sequel, but I am kind of curious because I felt like that story kind of ended. So like, what can you do? But they did already announce a sequel,
How
so
can you
I
do
guess
a
we'll see where it
sequel?
goes. But yeah, that's
I
because they have to have something to help market the ride when it opens in DCA.
Well, what are the stakes? I wonder. Like, what can the stakes
Yeah.
be?
ribeye.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could be ribeye. That wouldn't be my choice for steaks, but it could be ribeye.
Porterhouse.
If you're
Yep.
sharing, I guess maybe.
New York strip.
Right.
I'll take New York strip
Oh,
any
okay.
day of the week.
I like a good New York. I like a good New
Those are
York,
good
yeah.
steaks. Good steaks.
Yeah.
I'm all for it if those are the steaks.
All right, Charlie, number 3.
Number 3 for me was a movie about mental health for kids. And that was Inside Out. Taught a lot of kids how
First one?
to express their emotions. Inside Out in 1. Yep.
What? Okay.
It taught a lot of kids how to talk about their emotions. It was just really great with the abstract concepts, like abstract thoughts and core memories and dream productions. Oh, and the loss of childhood. And that hit home. Didn't hit home for me at the time, But when I rewatched it with my
Mhm.
son, who was getting older, and I was already seeing that transition from when he didn't have an imaginary friend like Bing Bong, but he would carry around monster trucks, and he would play with dinosaurs and stuff like that. And he was transitioning from that into, his his iPad, where he was just able to, just watch
There's
YouTube and
nothing wrong with
learn.
an iPad. We love
No,
our
we do love
devices.
iPads. Yep, we do. Yep, we do. All
Yes,
three of us
moving
recording
on.
on Apple devices right now.
We
Yes.
speak of no ill.
We do not. We do not. Yeah, so that for me, I mean, that's what kind of bumped it up a little higher than I think that I would have put it, just because of that, like the connection that I was able to make watching it with my kiddo, and having him get older, and just not wanting to keep him at that same age, but like also kind of understanding and still being sad about it, kind of mourning the loss of that young childhood. So that's my number 3.
All right, Caleb.
Well, my number 3 is not that. But it is WALL-E.
Mm.
Ooh. Okay.
WALL-E has a special place in my heart. My daughter is named after Eve in that movie.
It's pronounced
there's
Eva.
Right. That's why her name is Eva.
I know.
I
You said Eve.
Totally
She
just smacked her in the
came
head.
right in, smacked her in the head. Nice. You're like, I named her Eva. Smack.
Right. But yeah, so like WALL-E has a special place in my heart because of that. The story of all of that, and like I see that there's a very clear parallel to that movie and where we are today. Like it's insane, like the connections. It was just masterfully done, and I love the hope that's at the end of that movie. Like WALL-E finds the plant, Eve takes the plant, they all end up on the giant ship in space, but then everybody comes back to Earth, and there's the hope that they could rebuild something better and greater, and that's just a fabulous story of like, how do we take this and make it better? And for that reason, God, it's so like it sucks that it's number 3, because like all of these can be number 1 at some point, but today it's number 3.
Yeah, that movie it's super bold how it's structured to go for as long as it does without any dialogue. Like, and I think that's kind of what leads some people to not like it. I definitely enjoy it. The first time I saw it when it came out, I wasn't a huge fan, but it's definitely grown on me kind of over time, and seeing it like as more of an adult. I see it in a different way. Cool little fun fact about that movie: the design of Eve was done by Johnny Ive, who is the former like head of Apple design,
No way.
which is why
That's
she's
cool.
that like white glossy, which was like part of the Apple design aesthetic
That
for
makes sense.
the longest time. Yeah, because I
For
guess
like
he's like
ever.
friends with the director or one of the producers of that movie, and so he just kind of chipped in that design. So
That's cool.
kind of cool little fun fact.
Like and
Apple and Pixar were pretty synonymous at one point.
well,
Yes,
yeah,
for
they were
reasons.
they were the same.
Yep.
They were the same.
All right. So my number 3, we're going to go all the way back to 1995 and talk Toy Story, the
Wow.
OG.
Okay.
This movie changed the whole movie industry. It showed that computer animation was not a fad or just done for special effects, but it could actually potentially replace, and now it pretty much has replaced all other forms of animation. But aside from that, like the story is incredible. It's like the ultimate buddy movie. just the way they show things from the toys perspective. Even the opening sequence where the army men are like sneaking down to spy on the birthday party was just like so creatively done with like how they get down the stairs and they're hiding in the plant and like all that stuff was just
So
super
good.
super cool and creative. And
Yeah.
like I loved it as a kid, but then like you revisit it later and it like certain things hit different each time, and it holds up just so incredibly well. So I absolutely love that movie. So that's
Yeah.
number 3 for me.
Yeah, Toy Story is a great movie. The only reason why I it's not in my top 5 at all. And the only reason why it's not in my top 5 is because I've just seen it so much and it's just kind of wore out on it. But like I worked on a project for like 3 years that involved that movie. So like
That's too many years.
Yeah, it was a lot. But I mean, it's a great story, and it was masterfully done and for its time. They did the animation and stuff, incredible. It's really funny that, and I'll have to show you guys sometime. Like if you slow that movie way down, you can see the mistakes, and it's hilarious. It's so funny, but I mean, it's a '90s animation, right? This was back when like 3D animation was just being developed and like messed around with. So
Well, yeah, but for all the imperfections, like it still looks better than a lot of
It's
stuff
still-
that comes out today.
Yeah,
Right,
it does.
right,
Insane.
it,
really
it
does.
holds up very well. It's
Yep.
quite surprising how well it holds up. Because like you go back and you watch, I don't know, episode 1 of Star Wars, Phantom Menace, and like you can't even stand the CGI in that. It's so bad. So
Was
Yeah.
it? There's a scene in Lord of the Rings where they're running across like a chasm, and it's one of the worst things I potentially have ever seen.
Yeah.
Like it just blows my mind. I mean, I understand why, but like it looks so terrible.
Yeah.
But this movie,
Well, it's Lord of the Rings.
it was. You don't like Lord, you're
It's
not a Lord of the Rings guy.
I
No.
love LOTR. What's wrong with you?
So boring.
It's a
Don't
lot
I
of
want
walking
3
around.
movies of people walking. I'm good.
Yeah.
There's more than that.
Yeah, not much.
No, there's 6
I'm
movies
fine.
of walking.
I
7.
Oh, you're
was gonna
right.
s- Yeah.
And the whole series
forgot
too.
the
Terrible.
forgot
Just
about Hobbit.
Waste of time. I'll save that for a different, maybe hot take episode.
we could do a hot
I have
take
no
episode.
time for Lord of the Rings. It's just a waste.
It's 9 hours. 9+ hours.
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially
and
if you watch the extended version.
I love a good
Extended
long
version.
movie if it's entertaining or interesting, but Lord of the Rings is none of those. So
Yep.
that's
It's
too bad.
also the books also do the same exact thing. I trudged in whatever grade it was. I trudged through The Hobbit. Like the first 100 pages of that book were descriptions of things, and that's not cool. But you know what is cool is my number 2,
Your
which
number
is also
2,
Toy
yes.
Story.
Hey,
So my number 2 is
Wow.
Toy Story. For all the reasons that we just mentioned, Woody and Buzz being the odd couple. I love that. I love those 2 actors. I love Tom Hanks and the other guy. There he is.
Tim Allen?
Tim Allen, sorry. Yep. I love those 2 guys. They crack me up. Tim Allen has just made me laugh on so many different
Tim
things.
Allen.
But I love the contrast between some of Woody's darker traits of jealousy and insecurity in that movie, like contrasting with the way that Buzz was just kind of like the innocent, not really knowing that he was a toy, and then finding out that he was a toy and the existential crisis that came with that. It's pretty
Oh,
heavy
yeah.
for a kids movie in 1995. So, but being the first fully computer animated feature movie in 1995, and it looking the way that it does, despite any of the weirdness, is phenomenal, and I just love it.
Solid movie.
And Buzz is just like his comedy in that, it still cracks me up when he goes on his rant. It's like, I'm Mrs. Nesbit. It's still funny. It's
It's
just
so
it's
good.
so great.
It
Yeah.
is. It is.
All right.
You are
Caleb.
a toy. You can't fly. All right.
It's falling
Number
with
2.
style.
Right. Number 2. The Incredibles.
Hey. Nice.
The Incredibles. Let's be honest. That is one of the better superhero movies that Disney's put out. Like, it just really is.
Yep.
The story is fantastic, and I love the stance that they take on superheroes. Is that like they had to go into hiding, right? Like they weren't allowed to be super, and like how that plays out in the Parr house with Dash and Violet, and then the entire shift at the end of the movie where they're like, no, you need to use your powers, like use them. And like that jet scene when Elastigirl's flying, Dash and Violet are in there and the missiles are coming after him or whatever, like that was a high tense moment. When I watch that, like I still kind of get a little like, whew, okay. Because like it's very well done. The soundtrack is great. The animation style is fantastic. I love the line in that whole movie that gets me every time is when Elastigirl and Mr. Incredible are there, and like she's just laying into him, and he's like, I'm not strong enough, and she's like, oh, so this is a workout for you, and he's like, no, like I can't lose you again. Like that whole part of that movie is like, as a dad, like that hits a chord where it's like, I'm not strong enough to handle that. And if anything happened to my family, like I'm not strong enough. Like I want to be Superman to my daughter every day for the rest of her life, but I know that there's going to be a day where I'm not going to be able to do that. And that movie just, it hits it right on the head, and you're just like, it's a good movie. So Incredibles is my number 2. That's what I was going to say. Incredibles 2 is not on my list.
So my number 2 is The Incredibles.
See?
Yeah. It is. It's just such a great time. The story, it's like sort of a riff on the Fantastic Four, sort of a riff on the X-Men. Yeah, just really, really creatively done. It has that like retro futuristic look to it as well. The soundtrack is unbelievable, and I think Syndrome as a villain is amazing.
Incredible,
like,
right?
Why can't I remember his
no
name?
pun intended.
Jason Lee. Jason Lee is awesome.
Yeah,
he's so good.
Yeah, just like and how they like. Of course, if you go back and watch it, knowing how it happens, like it makes sense. But I remember the first time, like, wait, what? What? Yeah, such a great surprise. So well written. Yeah, it's just fantastic. And 2 is really good also. Like 2 is one of those, like they found a creative way to continue that story and have some stakes, ribeyes and New Yorks and whatnot.
But the cool thing is how they ended Incredibles 1, and then they picked up Incredibles 2 right where it left off. And it's like like even
They
though
knew what they were doing.
it wasn't in the books to make a second movie at the time, or maybe it was like in the talks or whatever, but like they ended that movie totally open to a second movie, and it was masterfully done. That is it's such a good movie. That one that is what a Pixar movie should be.
Yeah, just super fun. It did have some stakes, but it's not like, beating you over the head with it.
Right.
Not overly emotional, but just a really, really great time. And I totally agree. It is maybe the best superhero movie that Disney's released, which is saying a lot because, as we talked about on our MCU episode, like they've done a lot of good ones, but there's something about The Incredibles that it just hits.
It slaps, man. It's a good movie.
All right, Charlie, number 1.
I am interested.
Yeah, so The Incredibles, obviously not on my list either. It could have been anywhere on my list, depending on how recently I had seen it. But Wall-E is at number one for me.
Wow.
The something about I don't know. Maybe it's me being old, but for that first 30 minutes there was more engagement. Like, I cared more about what was happening. I was trying to figure out what was happening more than I do in a lot of like just normal movies. Like, I just felt like I cared more about what was happening with that character, what he was doing, his day to day. He was just doing his day to day tasks, and I was enjoying that because it was, it was a robot, and he was more expressive and human than many live action actors.
Yep.
I just love him. I have like one of the little figurines behind me here. I'm pretty sure he's back there. He's just hanging out. But Caleb touched on it earlier, the kind of warning that this movie was giving us from 2008 about the state of things. I guess it's not really a cynical view of the future, since we've kind of gotten to a certain point of it. And the fact that it kind of is a cyclical story, in that they got complacent, they got lazy, they got fat and overweight, and then ended up coming back to Earth and took their first steps on planet Earth because Earth had come back around and was able to, sustain life again. It's just so good. And I'm fairly sure that I've never cried when I thought a robot was dead in a movie prior to this one. I was losing it. I'm like, there's no way. Like, this can't be the way that this ends. And I'm just like, tears are rolling down my cheeks, and I'm like, oh my God. This is 17 years ago, but I was still, 20, whatever the hell age it was, 29. Like, like 29 years old, sitting in a movie theater in 2008, just crying over Wall-E potentially having died. And Eva just saving the heck out of him. So good. So
Such
good.
a good movie. Such a good movie. This list is hard, guys.
It is a hard list.
It's such a hard list. Because at any point, any one of these movies could be my number one.
But for right now, what is your number one, Caleb?
I figured.
Up is my number one. I love that movie with everything I've got. Like you said, Charlie, the way that it opens up. Apparently the dogs are barking now.
They agree with you.
Yeah, they're in agreement.
They're trying to talk like Doug.
Right. The way that movie opens up, and you get to hear pretty much no dialogue at all. I mean, you get the very small dialogue at the very beginning where they meet each other, but like the entire life story of Mr. Fredricksen is just music and story through pictures, and they
can you
do
hear
a
the music right now
job.
as you're talking about it? Can you
in
hear
my
it?
head?
Like, I can hear it right now
in my head.
That's the lasting experience that this movie has. You're like, I know exactly what happened here. I haven't watched that movie a ton of times because it destroys me in the first 5 minutes.
Well, and
every time
that music is so iconic. Like, they play it on Main Street, and like they don't just play anything on Main Street. Like, that's kind of crazy.
That movie has left a massive footprint on everybody that's ever seen it. Every single person that has seen it, as soon as anybody mentions Up, everybody has the same reaction. Oh, I love it. And they always talk about the sad beginning, they talk about the funny dog, and they talk about Russell. Like, and Kevin. They also talk about Kevin.
It's like, do not forget about Kevin.
Kevin in the parks. Okay, Kevin at Animal Kingdom is literally that is Mickey Mouse in Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, he's
Like,
the star. When he comes out,
everybody wants to see
everybody
Kevin.
wants to see Kevin. Yeah, it's so cool.
She's such a beautiful character through the entire movie, and and the other thing about Up is like, don't meet your heroes, kids. Don't meet your heroes. They're gonna let you down. But it's just an incredible story, and the last thing that he wanted to do for Ellie was get to Paradise Falls, and he did it. And God, it's just an incredible story. And that's that. I'm gonna say this: that movie will probably always be my number one. It probably will be, because it's just a solid freaking movie.
So good.
Tyler, your turn.
Nice. All right. My number one is Ratatouille.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you guys know me fairly well at this point. Like this
It's a
movie
food.
is
Tyler hates
is me.
I don't know.
I mean, no, this movie, like, seriously, I mean, I've had, probably several things influence my love of food, and I'm not like certainly not a great cook, but this movie had a lot to do with me wanting to learn to cook, or at least try different things. So I hold it very dear. It like shaped a lot of my personality, I feel like, in that, just like being that openness and like trying all the things, and really like the lesson that like talent can come from anywhere. I think is a great lesson for everybody to learn. But I mean, the animation's gorgeous, like the voice acting, the look of the movie, like the food looks amazing, like
Incredible.
All of it.
like
Makes me
you can tell
salivate.
like they studied hard for that, and I think they really nailed what working in like a high-end kitchen looks like, with a lot of pressure day in and day out. I love it. It's not only one of the best food movies ever, it's one of my favorite movies, period. Like probably in my top 5, like overall. Yeah, so I absolutely love Ratatouille. I'm surprised you guys had it a little bit lower, but that's okay. That's
It
why
was at least
we
in
can
there.
have these fun debates. Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
I wanted to call out real quick before we wrap up some of the things that none of us had in our top 5, which I find kind of interesting. No Finding Nemo. No Monsters Inc.
I debated.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, much to my delight, because I'm not a fan of these movies, but no Cars. Get out of here with Cars.
Yeah.
Don't want you.
Wasn't even in my head to put that on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cars
any
Land
of them-
can't be a thing.
If I were to put any Cars on there, it'd probably be the original.
Yeah.
Because 2's
Yeah.
not good, and 3's kind of better than 2.
Yeah, I really, for my I knew the top 3 were pretty easy, and then I wanted to have Coco in there, and then I thought like, well, number 5, it was between Toy Story 3, Monsters Inc., or Finding Nemo. I was like really back and forth between those 3 because I love all of them, but I think Toy Story 3, I wanted to have a sequel in there, and for all the reasons that I said. Wow. Caleb, you're going to be struck down here in a second.
He's going to become more powerful than she could possibly imagine.
Right. Strike me down in hate. And I will be with you.
You will
Just
try.
like make dinner.
No, so I was going back and forth on Monsters Inc. and Finding Nemo, and I was like, oh, Finding Nemo, the opening scene of that like gets me every time. Like the Barracuda coming in, like that gets me every time. Cars was only on my mind because I was like, okay, what are 5 movies that come to mind? And I went, oh, Cars.
Okay.
But like Monsters Inc., that one's tough too, because like Boo is just it's just
adorable.
I've got a foam triangle on my back.
You do.
This is going to be great on YouTube.
It is.
play
It's going to
well
be
on the
fantastic.
YouTubes.
So, yeah, I don't know. I do find it interesting though that all of us had each one's number 1 pick somewhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Which is kind of surprising because, like Charlie was saying, like there's almost 30 of these now.
mhm.
But there is, I guess, some consensus about what some of the best ones are.
Right.
Yeah, I would say so.
All right, guys. Well, we would love to hear where we got it wrong. We would love to hear all the opinions. So please leave the comments. Tell us why we're wrong. And if we call you out in a future episode, be prepared to defend your bad selections
Be
to
prepared.
all three of us.
Like Scar.
Yeah. All
And
right.
the
And be sure. And be sure to join us the next time the dads come out to socialize.